Hola futuros compañeros del Valhalla, bienvenidos un día más a mi canal, al canal de Rudex Norris con Juego de Tronos. Sí, Juego de Tronos, Game of Thrones o lo que queráis llamarlo. Y estamos en el burdel de Chatalla y vamos a hablar con Chatalla. A ver quién nos puede decir.
Alester, my heart sank when I received news you'd been arrested. It is rare that a prisoner emerges from the
La luz es de reloj y yo sigo esa luz.
Your God must be very taken with you. I'm very relieved to see.
Vamos al catre, guapa. La verdad es que Chatalla está muy bien hecha.
That girl was a bad seed. She's no longer here, Alester. What has become of her since she left is of no concern to this house.
Pero él se molesta con Beth. ¿Por qué?
This is the first time you speak so bitterly of one of your girls, my dear lady. What did she do to so displease you?
There are rules in our house, for our visitors as well as our girls. Beth paid them no heed.
Lo hacía con todos, la muy cerda.
Arrogant, dishonest.
Incluso cuando no le pagaban.
Letting them get behind in the payments. She'd say it was to entice them to come and see her more often.
A ver, eso es cierto, pero...
She skimmed some of the money, but I'll never know. I told her to put an end to her.
¡Ay, qué cerda!
And she left.
Are you saying that you threw her out?
I do not throw my girls out, Alester. I put too much time and effort into them to just put them out.
Joder, pues cada vez vemos atractiva a esta mujer. Vamos a ver, es un muñeco, ¿vale? Pero... imaginándomela realmente, diría que es bastante atractiva. La cosa es que no se le podría morder el cuello, si os dais cuenta. Inténtalo si tienes huevos.
Is it possible that she ran away out of love? Beth told me about Sir Giles Langwood and told me she was trying to contact him.
Lo dudo.
He seemed to care about what happened to her.
How very considerate of Sir Giles, especially considering the fact that he departed in such a cavalier manner.
I beg your pardon?
Sir Giles was Beth's favourite beau. He came to see her constantly. I thought he was particularly generous and wealthy.
Joder.
Apparently, he was just irresponsible.
Madre mía.
When I presented him with the bill and requested that he pay up, he paled and asked for more time. From that day on, no news of him.
Joder. Vaya dos. Es que están hechos para el uno para el otro.
The thief is no longer under my roof. He's worried about her again. That is rather charitable of him, and I must say, quite convenient.
She claims to be carrying his child.
Is that so? Well, she will be sadly disillusioned. A man who spills his seed in a whorehouse does not like to be
Pues parece que
confronted with
quiere.
the fruit. Is the child really Giles's? There's so
Es que es eso, o sea, si es una furcia, puede ser de cualquiera.
to convince a noble to take responsibility for it.
Es que...
Beth is too astute a girl to have been taken in like this. I'm surprised. I don't know what to say. Would you like to look at her room? Perhaps she left something.
Oh, gracias. Te daría un beso y todo.
I will return in a moment, dear lady.
La verdad es que yo creo, en serio creo, que el mejor... lo que más puedes tener de... Joder, me saldrá. De aliados son unas putas. Y lo digo en serio. Lo digo en serio. Mi dulce Beth, debo partir en un viaje y no podré volver a visitarte. Aunque me pesa en el corazón con tan solo pensarlo, hay posibilidades de que no vuelva jamás. He de irme para cumplir una promesa. Debes entender que a partir de ahora ya no puedo gozar de los placeres de una cama en el burdel, ni siquiera de tu compañía. Así pues, me despido de ti. Estoy seguro de que muy pronto te convertirás en una princesa, en una princesita de otro gran hombre. Y aquí hay cosas que no me interesan. ¡Uy, uy, uy! ¡Que encima la estoy robando, por puta! Hay putas que realmente no importa nada que sean putas. Oh, ¿está esta aquí aún? Joder, Chatalla, ¿tienes unos rollos raros con tus putas? finas, ¿eh? La verdad es que haya putas realmente no me incomoda. Joder. Las putas en sí no es nada malo, pero si son unas putas asquerosas, pues entonces ya creo que ya. La verdad es que no. Encontré una carta.
I came across a farewell letter written by Sir Giles addressed to Beth. An elegant gesture coming from the indifferent miser you described.
I admit that the writing is meticulous. It must have cost him dearly to have this note passed along. Do not let this piece of prose mislead you, Alester. It wouldn't be the first time a lover sends this type of hasty farewell to one of my girls. It's less a show of affection than a lack of character.
I'll leave the matter up to your good judgment. This young Sir Langwood did indeed appear to lack resolve. You know how some men are, Shataya.
You can't imagine how well. Was there anything else?
Nothing out of the ordinary. She must have taken everything of import with her. The only way to shed some light on the matter.
Joder, me están haciendo todo el lío,
Before you take your leave, Alester.
Sí, dime. Todo lo que quieras.
It would be ungrateful of me to not at least listen to you, dear lady.
Beth's scheming has cost my house dearly. Sir Giles may very well deny it, but he owes
¿A quién hay que romper las piernas? Vamos.
If you manage to see him, could you let him know that he must
Sí,
pay
lo
his
haré.
debts? What's more, if you could do your best to bring the ungrateful wretch back into the fold.
Are you sure you want that? From what you say, it would seem your house is better off without her.
We are the best house of pleasure in all of the 7 kingdoms, my dear. We don't just throw any old piece of meat at our patrons. Welcoming a new girl, training her, dressing her, it costs a fortune. Beth is a gifted asset, and I invested a lot.
Vale. Quiere que recuperemos su inversión. Vale, por mí bien.
I'm sure there are some people out there who would no doubt have something to say on the matter, my dear. But if I may be of any assistance to you, please be assured I will gladly do so, if only for old time's sake.
For old time's sake, then. My thanks, Alester.
Por los viejos tiempos no, tío, o sea, tienes que ayudarla. Oh. Te cojo esto prestado. Es que hay cosas bastante graciosas porque, vamos a ver, si te ayuda la madame, o sea, estás ayudando a la madame de tus propias cosas. De tus propias cosas, no, joder, qué tonto soy. Estás ayudando a la madame en hacerle un favor a ella. O sea, no hay nada mejor que tener un burdel como para que te ayude a ti. O sea, es algo es que Alester no lo está pensando bien. No por los viejos tiempos, te estoy ayudando. Espero que me puedas ayudar tú a mí de alguna forma. No sé, digo yo. Pero bueno.
Sir Alester, at last. Did the lovely Shataya tell you anything more?
Yes, of sorts. Of note, you forgot to mention the coin you owe her. That sheds a new light on matters, don't you think?
That again? Gods be good, will I ever rid myself of this? True, I may not have settled my debts with Shataya straight away. I sometimes went there without seeing any of the girls. I paid no heed. I lost count.
Vale, pero eso es lo que tú tienes que pagar, machote. Pagar, o sea, si te follas a tías, pues ya está, o sea, si has ido allí es porque tenías que. Pues tendrás que hacer algo. Eso no es de mi incumbencia. Tú tienes que pagar. ¿Qué no dice? Hoy que no. Voy a intentar hacer, si hay bastantes opciones de diálogo. Respuesta sencilla, debes pagar ahora. Mejor olvidar. Voy a ver, a ver.
Shataya would not come and demand payment from you outside of her establishment. You are free to do as your honor demands.
Let's go. I hate to think of the poor girl in the gutter because of me.
Cállate, anda, que mejor voy a verla. Vamos a ir a ver. A Beth. Y como sea el hijo de otro, es que la clavo toda la... ¡Oh! Le clavo la espada en la puta garganta y cojo al chaval y digo... Ahora vas a coger toda la pasta y le vas a pagar a quien debes. ¡Payaso! Así, se lo digo. ¿Eh? Pues venga. La verdad es que me va un poquito a tirones. ¡Epa! ¿Pero qué haces? Mira, es que qué forma más rara de... Mírale, pero que no te quedes quieto, cojona. Uy. Primero, es que... No.
We will find something for you.
But the answer is obvious, my good knight. With all the coin you owe me, I've enough to buy a small manse and dress in Moorish silk until the day.
Ah, que era para pagar la deuda.
I feel as though I'm talking to that coin hoarder Shataya. Come now, that's not why I'm here.
Qué puta.
If you want to fuck whores, you have to open your purse, my lord. Otherwise, you best aim lower and force yourself upon a servant wench. You haven't paid Shataya, but you will pay me.
I don't like being taken for a fool, girl. This business seems anything but honest to me. Sir Giles will not pay a
¿Y hay una
groat
puta
if I
mosca
have
por
anything to
aquí?
do with it.
That's what I feared. You grand lords always stay together
Vale.
and keep the small folk down. It's a good thing we know how to do likewise. Gun, sir? Our guests want to plead poverty.
¿Qué quieres?
That's not honest, my lord. Not honest at all. Come on, lads. Let's show the good lords the price
Sí.
of paying their debts.
A mataros, hijos de pu... ¡Vamos! ¡Vamos! No, vamos. Estáis muertos. Pero vamos a ver, que tengo una armadura acá más grande que vosotros. ¿Has visto? A tomar por culo tus colegas. Ahora vas a... Uy, que hay otro. Venga. Que puedo estar así todo el día, no te preocupes. Es gracioso porque vienen y mueren. Es que me encanta. Vamos ahí. Dale, Alester. Hay uno por ahí al fondo que me está tocando el nabo. Payaso. Hala. ¿Ahora qué, maldita puta? ¿Ahora qué? Es que nunca. Te ha ayudado.
She is willing to forgive you and to take you back into her house. You should get down on your knees and thank her. If it were me, I would have gladly handed you over to the gold clothes.
Yes, my lord.
¡Pero métele un bofetón! ¡Pero dale! Alester, eres un gilipollas.
I doubt she will trouble you again.
I don't know how to thank you enough for all you have done, Sir Alester. Please, at least take this.
Ah, vale.
Thank you, sir. Go back to your family. May the Lord bathe your wedding.
Vale.
Light.
I hope so. Farewell.
Mira, este me ha caído bien. Por lo menos, no sé, era un buen hombre. Aún así se merece un guantazo. ¡Qué oro! ¡Si me has dado plata, pedazo de asqueroso! Dice, tomad este oro. Pero hijo de puta, que no me ha dado oro. Ay, la madre que lo parió. Menos mal que tenía estos cadáveres para darme un poquito más. ¿Tú has visto algo? No, ¿verdad? No has visto nada, ¿verdad? Eso espero. Ahora tenemos que ir a ver a Chataya y decirle, mira, ¿quién te he traído? Que como no haga sus tareas, pienso clavar en una puta estaca. Que por algo uno de mis personajes favoritos de la historia es Blas el Empalador. Y es Cid Campeador, pero eso realmente no hay mucho que rascar en ese. Realmente si le digo a Chataya que mi personaje histórico favorito es el Cid Campeador, se va a mosquear un poquito. Bueno, o no, puede que no. Porque el Cid Campeador mataba etnias musulmanas, no a negros ni nada, no sé. La verdad es que el Cid, no sé si era racista, la verdad. No estoy seguro. Aunque gracioso de que decía que era etnia musulmana y a los negros los se llamaban negros, en vez de gente de color o algo así.
Oh, Alester. Beth has come back. She told me what you did.
She
Sí.
caused you too much trouble. At one point I feared she would give you the slip again.
Where could she possibly go? No, put your mind at rest. The prodigal daughter has fallen into line. She hardly dared look.
Haberla metido un guantazo.
She has retired to her quarters. No doubt attempting to rid herself of the smell of...
¡Oh!
You may go see
Vamos.
her if you wish. And thank you, Alester. Really. It is a gift of the gods to have you once again.
Para todo lo demás, avísame, que yo te ayudo, hija. Que me has caído muy bien. ¿Qué quieres que te diga? Me ha caído bien. Vamos a ver a la hija de puta esta. ¡Hola, maldita puta! Vale, así cambias bastante.
My Lord Alester, have you come to check that I'm keeping well?
A mí con ese tonito no, que te meto un guantazo que te...
I promised you a payment in kind for bringing me back.
That's enough, Beth. I've come to see if all is well with you.
I can't complain. The house and clients smell good and the food is better. The girls were happy to see me again.
Pues entonces no te quejes.
I am too, I suppose. No one here makes me feel ashamed of being a whore.
You will not be one forever. The Lord gives the gift of his light to us all. One day you'll know how to find it.
Perhaps. For a long time now I've prayed to the maiden to free me from this life. But after what I did...
Normal, maldita asquerosa.
A shame. I am what I am. Here you are. Take this trinket.
Bagatela, a ver qué me das, asquerosa.
A carved figure of the maiden.
Ah.
I have no use for such unholy items.
Que te lo dé, que lo necesitamos.
I beg you. I've nothing else to offer. Everything else belongs to Shataya. I just want to thank you for looking after me, even when I didn't deserve it.
Very well, I will take it. Take care of yourself, young woman.
Es que la necesito para amor.
Thank you for coming, my lord.
Vale, bien. Se me ha quedado ahí. Vale. Ya está. Ya nos vamos a hacer la misión principal. Joder. La misión secundaria me ha gustado, ¿eh? Es que hay misiones secundarias que sí molan hacerlas porque te meten un poco más en el papel, en la historia de Alester, su gente y tal. No sé, me gusta bastante estas misiones secundarias. Así es que, como digo, en estas misiones secundarias te ayudan a entender mejor al personaje y eso me parece bastante buena idea. Coño, vaya moscardón esta. Anda, que no es una mosca, es un moscardón. Joder, me ha pasado por el ojo que me ha acojonado muchísimo. Puta mosca de mierda. Las mutan, las mutan. Hola, Harwood Harrington. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué te cuentas? ¿Qué te ha dicho Goyo Jiménez? Bueno, muy poca cosa, la verdad. Bueno. Y ahora va a ser mi ayudante.
He's a bastard child, just like those the Queen is hunting down. But the assassins also killed whoever else was in the hideout at that time. And that's how Gawain fell victim to them.
How can something this dreadful have been allowed to happen?
He really is dead. His body was moved to the city watchtower. I saw it with my own.
Joder, es que tienes una putada eso de verdad.
That poor boy. Sir Desmond told me of the bandits you encountered. Was it they who killed Gawain?
The Reapers did the dirty work. There's no denying that. But they were just pawns. They are now paying for their crimes.
What do you mean?
I coerced some of their members to tell me what happened, and that information led me to the city watchtower. That's where I found Gawain's corpse. But that's not all. The leader of the Reapers, the murderer himself, was locked up there. He confessed everything. The commander of the city watch paid him to carry out the task. Then he left him to rot in the dungeons, so that the crime would never be traced back to him. And here is the proof. Look at this letter. It was Valar himself who gave the assassination order to the commander of the city watch. He's behind everything.
Por claro.
Are you saying your half-brother murdered Gawain?
¿Hermano? No, yo no lo llamaría hermano.
Why would he do such a thing?
Look at what's written here. See that you do not leave any witness. He must have known that Gawain would be with Cedric. Valar was trying to capture my brother after all. This was an ideal opportunity for him. He didn't leave him any chance of clearing his name.
Claro, así dejaría de ser un bastardo.
Obviously. He wants to wipe out the Sarwiks and take control of
Yo ahora quiero matarme a mí.
Valar used this opportunity to get rid of him. One less obstacle in the way of
Y yo creo que la reina está
now
detrás.
assured that he will become head of House Sarwick, being both my sister's husband and my father's only descendant.
What are you planning to do?
Matarlo.
Garwin was my brother. I can't just let that bastard Valar destroy
Yo me lo
my
cargaría
family.
cuando durmiese.
He will pay with his blood. I'll never let that wretch take the ancestral lands of House Sarwick. I already have this letter which proves his involvement in the sewer murders. I have to find out what it is that links these murders and expose Valar's treachery. Once the people learn of his treachery, the Queen will have no choice but to sever her ties with him.
You are right. The answer probably lies with the bastards.
Sí, pero la reina Cersei es una hija de puta de mierda y seguramente también tiene que ver.
Think about it. Isn't that what all these murders have in common? All the victims were bastards. In fact, you helped track one of them down yourself, didn't you?
I only helped the Queen to get back my land and titles. It was the best way to show my loyalty, and I'm willing to get my hands dirty so that my family can regain its former wealth.
Eso es un bastante egoísta, pero bueno.
And your resolve does you credit. But why did you
Porque sabía que iba a hacer lo que pudiese para hacer eso.
enemies of the crown? Why didn't she send the gold cloaks?
Indeed, she chose an inconspicuous method
Claro.
every time.
The Queen does not wish for this matter to be made public.
These bastards are not chosen at random. Valar himself is one, but he's not worried. So there must be some other link between them. But what? I can't put my finger on it.
I might have a lead on this matter. One of my contacts
Bueno,
at court
¿qué trapicheo
passed a
tienes
letter
tú?
on to me. It's from Lord John Arryn himself, the King's hand. He sent it to the Red Keep some time before his death. It was meant for Grand Maester Pycelle, who sits on the Royal Council.
You claim he wrote a letter just 2 weeks before his death. But what did it say?
Well, John Arryn asked the Grand Maester to consult a book on the lineages of the Seven Kingdoms. And this came after he was seen in the company of Stannis Baratheon, visiting various dens of
Joder,
repute.
la virgen.
It caused quite a stir. If you're unfamiliar with these two men, they have long established reputations of unfailing virtue. Normally, neither of them would ever frequent that kind of establishment. After a little investigating, I learned that the Hand had visited half a dozen bastards that day, one of whom was the Potter that you and Sir Valar killed.
Yo no le maté, le mató Valar.
I've some doubts that John Arryn's death was by natural causes.
Sí, vamos.
You think that because he was walking about town and consulting some tome on lineage that someone had the hand of the king assassinated?
Sí.
Think about it. If John Arryn discovered something about those bastards that someone powerful didn't want him to know, I have a feeling that this book on lineages holds the key to this mystery. And I've sent word to a man capable of shedding light on all of that for us. He's a Meister of the Citadel called Rupert. He's also an expert in ancient texts, and it just so happens that he has worked on the
Y estará
book.
muerto.
I do not know him personally, but he has agreed to meet with us. He was asked to bring a copy of the tomb.
Why call on this Maester Rupert?
Grand Maester Pycelle is the Queen's loyal servant. It would be highly inadvisable to contact him
Claro.
directly. However, there is still one concern to settle. The payment.
How much is he asking for?
Un dragón de oro.
That's the problem. He does not seek money.
Ah,
If he did, this matter
joder.
would already be
Ah,
settled.
que quiere un favor,
He
¿no?
wants a particular settlement, but he refuses to explain himself in writing. He
Vale.
would rather discuss this in private.
Fine, I will meet with him. Where can I find him?
The meeting has been arranged near an illegal arena, hidden in the sewers. I sincerely hope he will give us the help we need. I've already taken the liberty of sending Sir Desmond there, as he knows these parts well. He will be able to come to your aid.
Por mí bien. La verdad es que sigo sin fiarme mucho. Siento decirlo, pero no me fío mucho aún. Pero bueno, son cositas que vamos arreglando poquito a poco. Bueno, espero que hayáis disfrutado muchísimo de este capítulo. En el próximo capítulo nos iremos otra vez a las putas cloacas, tío. Tiene que oler asquerosamente ahí, pero que los tíos con dos cojones es que ni se inmutan, tío. Es que es flipante. Bueno, recordad que sonreír es gratis, así que aprovechad de ello. Un fuerte abrazo y hasta el siguiente capítulo. Adiós.